Noon. It's if you hear a sound in the background, if you hear anything weird, that's because it is pouring rain here in Maple Grove, Minnesota, which makes for a nice ambiance for an afternoon webinar. My name is Cooper Buss. I am the Director of Marketing here at JP Woman Realty, and I'm happy to be with you. I am really passionate. It's actually like the foundation of JP Woman as a brokerage, but we're all really passionate about sphere marketing in particular because we would prefer and strive for a future in real estate where everyone is buying and selling with real estate agents that they know and trust, because the alternative is essentially to just get randomly paired with a real estate agent through some kind of tech giant company that acquires you as a lead and sells you off to someone. So we are constantly training our agents and enabling our agents to just be way better at marketing to people they know, because we believe the best outcome is that you buy a house with someone you trust. So today we're going to talk about some marketing that sucks. And you'll see that that phrase is, it's provocative, of course. So really, we're going to focus most of our time actually on, how to market better, but I also will be sharing with you some marketing that I think is unideal. We'll get back to that in a second. But the goal here being to convert people in your sphere, people in your community, to be your clients before they start shopping for real estate. I think that's actually one of the most common mistakes that is made in real estate marketing, is that we overfocus on the wrong part of the buyer's journey. So today we're going to start off with some marketing that sucks, and then we're going to talk about the real estate buyer's journey. If you are a marketer or a salesperson, you probably think a lot about the buyer's journey because it's kind of the formational and foundational concept by which marketers and salespeople understand the process by which they should do their jobs, right? To understand how they can actually effectively impact human decision making, which is the goal of all marketing. And you have to understand the actual buyer's journey, what people do before and during and after they make a purchase decision. And then we're going to talk about some of our top tips about how to market to your sphere. And we'll end up with some ways to understand if your marketing is effective or not, which is actually going to be just comparing to some industry averages and also averages of the average agent on our brokerage that's doing sphere marketing. And at the end, I'll throw in a couple really good examples of sphere marketing. Simple, but good examples of sphere marketing. So first off, we're not going to actually say that this marketing sucks, because I would say the only marketing that really sucks is to not do marketing. There's actually so few agents that consistently market to their sphere. I think that's what sucks. It's great if you do any marketing at all, but we're going to point out some examples of marketing that we found. I just emailed a bunch of the staff, and basically we collected some examples of newsletters or social media or other real estate ads that we just thought were unideal. And what I'm going to do for a couple of the examples, at least, is I'm going to just put them up here in the slideshow. And I would love to get your ideas on how you think this marketing could be improved. All right, here is a newsletter. This is actually from a mortgage company. And this was essentially everything in that weekly email that went out. There was a footer in the email. But other than that, this is all the content in the email. Looking at this, I blurred out the image so that it's, so we're not calling anybody out, because I think it's great that they send this out, but it could be better. I would love to hear from any of you just looking at this, why this type of marketing you think is unideal or how it could be better. And then, of course, I'll share with you some of my thoughts. Boring. Okay, yep, definitely. I agree, it's boring. Look at the color choice, right? It's like a burnt brown, lots of red. So people don't think about colors in text and marketing very often, but subconsciously, red means anger, obviously, but it also means stop, right? And not good. When you're in grade school, you would always get your papers corrected in red pen, right? When they're wrong. Red means wrong, so you shouldn't use red. There's a lot of gray on there. More effective would be to put that information in bullet points rather than huge chunks of text. And it's boring text too, right? They're describing like, I mean, like just the words in that text that pop out to me is like, okay, I'm an economist. That's what my degree is in. That's what I studied for many years. But like, I would read that because I love economics, but most of the key words that I pick out on that are things that turn me off. I'm like, man, I'm not digging into that. Inflation, Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve, that sounds like school. Yep, the wall of text needs to be broken up. Definitely too much gray. 100% agree with you. What do you guys, well, I'll just tell you what I think. I think it's hilarious. So you'll notice the title, Weekly Market Update. That means they send out an email like this every week. Who in the world, other than a mortgage banker, wants this information every week? Man, I don't know. If you're only marketing to other mortgage bankers, maybe this makes sense, but I would never stay subscribed to this email list, that's for sure. So yep, a couple of my things you guys needed. It's boring topic, way too much text, and that text is boring. If the text is like a lot of text, but it's an interesting story or a life update, sure, write it in long form, but not if it's like the definition of some sort of like marketing, like economic market term. Every week they're sending out all this number confetti. Like, who knows what a 15-year fixed conforming, like APR with an asterisk flat. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of statistics. Like, you guys are experienced agents. You probably know a little bit more about this stuff than the average person, but man, I don't know. If I sent this email to my mom, she'd be like, what in the world do any of these things mean? Yeah, so spot on. All right, here's another one. I think there's some things about this email that are good, but I want us to look at some ways that this newsletter could have been improved. Once again, this is a newsletter. I don't know how often they send these out, but this is all the content in there, right? There was a footer below this on the email. That's basically the legal information, but this is everything in their email. This was sent by using a certain very famous and commonly used real estate marketing company. But yeah, I'd love your ideas, critiques on this marketing, how it's unideal, how it could be improved. Yeah, bullet points rather than block text. Yep, spot on. Using graphics to display data rather than just putting it in words, definitely. Yeah, it does look a lot better. The design's a lot better, you're right. They've got graphic design going on here too, for sure. Totally agree, Connor. All right, so a couple of my ideas around this is that nothing in this is personal. At least they have a video of them talking. That's what the video is. But it's sales, right? It's like a direct sales email. The entire email is only focused on acquiring you as a customer. Now, if these are people you know from your church, how does it feel to just get this email? And my guess is if this email is like this, most of their emails are probably like that, because this marketing company that's all about sending videos focuses almost entirely on sales. So how would you feel if these are people, like their kid is on your kid's soccer team and you get an email like this from them once a week or once a month? It's just sales, right? All they care about, their only connection with you, other than you've seen them at events, is they're trying to acquire you as a customer. I would be turned off. I have a problem with these kind of videos, like I personally hate it when I have to watch a video and have the sound on and pay attention to it to get information. So I really don't like emails that there's a little bit of information there in that paragraph, but it seems like I have to listen to you talk to get the information. I think that's kind of annoying. The other issue here is that, yes, everyone on earth, Connor's immediately archive. No, thank you. Everyone on earth knows that home values are up, right? It's headline news nationally. It has been for over a year. Great. That's phenomenal. Highlighted, educate on it. That's good. But what else does everybody know? They also know that it's really hard to be a buyer right now and there's an inventory shortage. So this doesn't do anything to address the buyer fears, right? Who wants to sell if they don't have a plan to buy? That's the reason why more people aren't selling. So yeah, definitely nailed it. All right, I think this is the last one that we're going to critique together. Nope, I lied. There's one more after this. How about this one? I blanked out the brokerage's name at the top of this. This is a legitimate email that they send out en masse. We can use a lot of the same critiques on these, right? No pictures. No pictures. What is the most important part of real estate listings? It's the pictures. If you look at every survey that's ever done, the number one thing is pictures, 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 pictures. There's no color to it. It's text, black and white text. Yep. All of the content is scrunched up. Look at that. It's like the address, the price, the map link, which is what you actually want them to follow. That's all that stuff is like compacted in. Yep. Totally agree. You guys nailed it. Like Connor likes the highlights. Do you mean like the fact that some stuff is, oh, you mean like the little text blurbs there. Yeah, that's good. That can be eye-catching. Yeah, you could abbreviate it. Totally agree. Totally agree. Yep, adding in graphics. So this is like some kind of auto-generated email. Totally agree with you guys. I think a big problem with this email also is that there's no humanity to it. Like it just screams some robot generated this and slammed into my inbox, you know? There's no personality to it. And then the other question is like, so this is not a search alert. There are no criteria here. Who is this email applicable to? It's literally a list of the active listings from this brokerage. Who in the world wants to get that email? Every week, it's a weekly update. I don't know, it's just like an ad, right? Like, these houses are for sale, and I'm gonna give you a text description of each of them, and that's it. Anyways, I think it's kind of funny, right? You know, once again, I think it's better than nothing, because it is a touch, maybe not a quality touch. All right, moving on to the next one. This one, a lot of the things that were wrong with the other ones are right with this one, but I'm interested to hear what you guys' thoughts are on this one. This is actually from someone, I don't think there's any identification information on here. Maybe a little bit, but anyways, these guys are actually really famous, nationally famous real estate group. Too much, says Connor. Yep, this is actually, I say a lot of times that this is everything in email. There is like twice this amount of content, but it was like, if you keep scrolling down, it's like for sale, more for sales, recently sold, more recently sold, pendings. It just keeps, it kept going. Yep, totally agree, Connor. It's too much. After this person types in, I'll move on so we can get on some of the other stuff. Okay, a couple of my thoughts. This entire email looks really good. Color, graphic design, they're highlighting stuff, you know, like green, like a little bit of green text there. Unfortunately, the entire email is a sales email, right? Are you likely to stay subscribed to an email you get every week or every month that's 100% salesy? Or you're more likely to stay subscribed to an email that has some content in it that actually is valuable to you? I don't know. Most of my lifetime, I don't give a rip about what these people are selling and what's for sale. I don't care about their reviews. You know, it's essentially a big advertisement. They have a giveaway. Where do they have that? Oh, I don't have the image on here, but one of the blocks was a giveaway, announcing the giveaway, but you can't sign up online or on their website or with an email address. You have to go to their social media accounts in order to enter their giveaway, which I think is a mistake. In your newsletter, you're highlighting a giveaway that they have to go to a different portal, a social media, and then find the giveaway in order to sign up for it. Almost everything in this email is graphic designed. I think it's overkill. So there's some feedback on that. Okay, transitioning a little bit. This is just something I found on, by Googling bad real estate marketing. This one kills me. First of all, you can't read the words because it's washed out. Second of all, it's offensive. It's saying this is a part-time agent. Look at what they're doing. Like the most successful agents that aren't on teams are actually like moms. And this is saying that you're going to get worse service from a mom than, these dudes in suits, which I think in a lot of cases is actually not correct, right? These guys have probably got 20 or 30 listings at a time, whereas that mom might have you as her only active client, right? Anyways, it's like, who would you rather have represent you? These corporate dudes or someone you actually know who's a normal person? Anyways, I found it a little bit offensive. All right, next, to prove to you that this marketing is unideal, but that we all do it, this is marketing that I personally created. This is content that I created about a year ago. And I'm going to rip it apart to show you that everyone produces marketing that's unideal. I'm not just making fun of other people, I'm making fun of myself too. So here's a couple of social posts. Here's the deal about posting links, you guys. Worst performing posts overall. Facebook is not going to promote content that you create that links people away from Facebook. They want to keep people on Facebook, right? So links aren't very effective. Lowest performing posts overall for pretty much all of our agents, actually, including all the brokerage social stuff we do. So avoid doing links. It's okay to do them every once in a while. The other thing is like the one on the right, it's just a link. There's no flavor text there. You're not editorializing. You're not giving your opinion, your insight. You're just posting a link. It's pretty lazy. Avoid that. The one on the left, pictures are what make people click anyways or interact with it. And that, that little link preview only has a tiny picture on it that doesn't draw you in. So kind of ineffective social media. Those posts you see seen by 14 and 22, those are actually posted internally, had been posted externally. I bet they would have been done a little better than that, but probably not much. Here's a couple of like actual posts that I personally graphic designed. I'm not a good graphic designer. The stuff we do nowadays is a little bit better because I've just like learned about certain things that work and don't work and just repeated those designs. But this is some stuff. It's like, if 20 to 30% of your content is like this, where it's salesy or markety, that's fine. But if this is all the kind of stuff you're posting on social media, like people are going to start ignoring you because I don't know, how many times a week do you want to see stuff about the real estate industry on your social media feed? Not that often. This post on the left, way too much text. Same with this, list your home ASAP. Way too much text in there. It's hard to read. One thing that I find that's actually kind of challenging on social media is like when it's appropriate to use real estate terminology, because the average person, buyer, seller, they don't use words like listings, pendings. They don't even talk about showings really that often. That's not even a term they probably use. They probably just say like, let's go look at this house, or I want to see that house. They don't think about showings as a concept. Except for in that few week period where they're actually looking at houses, they might understand it. But so using too much real estate lingo can be a little bit dangerous too. There's an upside to this kind of content, which it helps you build some credibility and expertise, but there's better ways to do it too. And I think our content now is better than that. I hope it's better because it's all stuff I create, but the market updates on the right, those two, the design of those hasn't changed, but when we ever do market highlights, like the left two here, they look quite different. All right, so those are some examples of unideal marketing that could be much better. And now I want to talk a little bit about some of the key reasons why that type of marketing I think is pretty ineffective. And it's based on an understanding of the real estate buyer's journey. So how does the average person interact with real estate during their entire lifetime? And here's a little graph I like to use that kind of illustrates this. But essentially, over time, most people don't care at all about real estate, right? It's not even on their radar. Maybe they read a headline about soaring home prices, but then they forget about it. They don't care. But then at some point, they start thinking about buying or selling, and real estate starts to become more and more interesting to them until it peaks somewhere around transaction time, maybe a couple weeks before that while they're walking through a lot of houses too. But the vast majority of the time, people don't care about real estate. Their interest in real estate is super low. And this is actually from the 2020 NAR survey. It's a home buyer and seller profile survey, which I highly recommend you read every year because it helps you understand the reality of the way people interact with real estate in the real world, the average consumer. So this graph, this chart here, they figured out how long on average someone who sold their house had been in that house. And the bottom left-hand number here, the median number, obviously a huge data set, so median is actually a pretty good measure. The median number is 10 years in their house. So if you think a little bit about everyone in your sphere, everybody you know, and those, all of them being essentially potential real estate clients of yours, there's two groups. There's people that don't currently own a house and are renting, right? And you need a very different playbook for those people because your job with them is actually just to watch them, stay engaged, watch them on social media and LinkedIn to look for life changes that might signal that it's time to buy, right? Maybe they get a new job. Maybe family moves to town. Maybe they have a kid. Maybe they retire. Whatever it is, you're looking for signals of change for people that aren't homeowners. Everyone else that is a homeowner, it's a little bit different, right? So signals might be different. It might just be a change in desire. Sometimes the signals are the same. But everybody that owns a house, that on average, they're going to be there for 10 years, right? As you can see from the bottom numbers, if they're younger, it's less. If they're older, it's more. But 10 years on average in between home sales. So what that means is that out of every 10 years, the average person spends at least 9 of them not caring about real estate at all, right? Almost no care of real estate, no interest in it. And maybe somewhere around year 9, theoretically, they say that the buyers, like from activation, from like the point when someone starts dreaming about a real estate transaction, moving, buying, selling, it can be up to 8 months. Right around that mark, maybe they're starting to get more and more interested. They're starting to look around, starting to think, starting to talk about financing, and their interest peaks. But the vast majority of the time, people don't care. Here's another really revealing statistic from that same survey. So I'm looking at the top 2 rows. This is how the buyer found the real estate agent. So we're talking about buyers here, but 40% were referred by or are the buyer's friend, neighbor, or relative, right? So a personal connection. And then 13%, the next highest, used an agent previously to buy or sell their home. So what that means, because I looked through all the other reasons, and essentially they're all different. 53% of buyers use an agent that they were already connected to some way, right? Either they knew them firsthand or secondhand. So that means that you got another 47% of buyers that are using an agent that they have no connection to. Make sense? So to me, that's a problem, right? That's a marketing problem because the vast majority well, not the vast majority, actually, it's a slight minority, but 47% of buyers aren't using an agent they know. So when we market, if we market to people in the shopping phase of the buyer's journey, we're pretending that everyone is basically between year 9 and 10 in their average real estate cycle. So you're actually ignoring about 90% of the people in your sphere when your marketing is all salesy, when it's all real estate focused. So I think that's a problem. In our marketing, we tend to pretend that everyone is shopping. But the reality is 9 out of 10 years, they're not. And I believe that is actually why 47% still of people are using agents that they have no connection to. It's because if you're marketing to people in the shopping stages, you are going head to head with all the big tech companies. You cannot beat Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com in the marketing game because their marketing budget is, how many hundreds of millions of dollars, and they have better technology and better strategies than you because they're huge companies. They're billion-dollar companies. So don't try to go head to head with them. You have to win in the first 9 years because those companies, the tech giants, are all about driving and capturing leads, which means people who are already shopping. So overall, I think we're failing at sphere marketing. 47% of people working with agents they don't know is way too high. Basically, half of people work with clients they work with an agent they don't know, which means they don't initially trust them. And the tech giants end up winning. I'm kind of passionate about this stuff, if you can't tell. So next, we're going to talk about how we can start winning. Sphere Marketing 101. To beat the big boys, all the big tech giants, I believe in 2 things. You have to be tireless in your marketing and unabashedly value added. Let's talk about what those things mean specifically. Tireless marketing is consistent and never stops. Here's the recipe for sphere marketing success. Minimum amount of sphere marketing you need to do per month to your sphere to even have the remotest assumption that you're going to be successful selling to those people, unless you're okay with them just going to Redfin, going to Zillow, being captured as a lead for someone else, you need to do at least a newsletter a month and 9 business posts on social. So I mean business posts meaning on your business profile, social media. 9 is like a bare minimum of social for sure. Do 30, do 1 a day. That would be ideal. Go and watch our videos on how to do like automated social media where you don't have to come up with the content. There's a YouTube video about that. So that's your recipe for sphere marketing success. That's the #1 way we can beat the big boys, the big tech companies at their own game, is to ramp up our own marketing, right? But the key to having that marketing actually be successful, so that people don't end up tuning you out in the 9 years they spend not shopping for real estate for every 1 year they do, is to add value constantly. If you want to know how to do this, read the book Ninja Selling. We recommend all of our agents read it. It's all about maintaining relationships and selling without really selling by adding value. The best way to add value in your marketing is to be entertaining. People go to social media to be entertained. If all of the emails in your inbox were things you had to do, it wouldn't be fun and you wouldn't check your email that often. Well, you probably would have to still check it, but you check it a lot less because it won't be entertaining. People actually check their email because it's entertaining, right? You get an email about, an update from a family member. You get maybe it's a sales email, maybe it's an ad from a company that you like to shop at, but that's fun, right? To shop. So be entertaining in your marketing. Easy ways to be entertaining: to be funny, to share something that's beautiful, to encourage people to dream, right? So looking at really fancy houses, eye candy houses, that is a way to help people dream. Or sharing personal things. That's another good way to be entertaining. Easy way to add value: do giveaways. Give away stuff for free. Not almost all, but a huge chunk of our agents do a monthly gift card drawing. You can add value through education, by talking to people about what's going on in the real estate market, stuff like that. Those data posts that we do. But you have to limit it. So here is the suggested mix of content. 70% or more should be entertainment content, entertaining content. 10% education stuff, like, oh, here's a good article on this concept, or like, oh, are you thinking about refinancing? Like, here's some advice, blah, blah, blah. And then no more than 20%, I'd say, would be business. And that includes like your solds, your new listings, pictures of you with, like outside a listing, taking the selfies or whatever. A lot of agents I see who are very successful, they really only post their business activity. That's not bad. It's pretty good. But I would recommend that they should still have a whole other content strategy of entertaining content that actually dwarfs, as 70% to the 20%, all of their business content. So that's the recommended content mix. So that's like in your newsletters. Your newsletter should be 70% entertainment, 10% education, 20% business, boring stuff. Your social media content should be 70% entertainment, 10% education, 20% business. All right, let's talk really quickly about how you could audit your own marketing right now and understand if it's being effective or not. So here are the 2021, so far in 2021, real estate industry benchmarks for email marketing. This is according to Campaign Monitor, which is a marketing analytics and data company that analyzes all kinds of marketing performance. So about a 20% open rate, 3.5% click-through rate, 0.2% unsubscribe rate. If you're doing email marketing out of any email marketing system, it'll tell you those numbers. That is the industry average. The problem is, who is sending the majority of real estate industry marketing emails? It's the tech giants, right? It's Zillow, it's Redfin, it's all those companies that are sending all these automated emails out to people. So they're actually dragging those averages down because those emails don't perform very well, which is why we say those averages are not great. Those are not your benchmarks. Here is what the average JPW agent hits with their newsletter marketing: a 40% open rate and a 7% click-through rate, which is crazy high, you guys. But the key is, this is going to your sphere, so the people you know. You're not sending this to cold leads, warm leads, lost leads. That's not it. It's people that know you. And number 2, we do the resend strategy Go look at all of our newsletter videos where the next day, so you send your email today, tomorrow you duplicate that email, send the same email again to everyone who didn't open it yesterday. That's how you get this really good performance. And then, we got a little Chris Farley there. And for whatever reason, when I was searching concepts, I kept finding GIFs of Chris Farley. So the next question is, what's good on social media? And it's almost impossible to answer that question, right? Because everyone has a different number of followers, so you can't compare numbers to numbers. And the demographics of everyone's followership is really different, right? If your average follower on your Facebook business page is a middle-aged mom, they are hyper users of Facebook, right? So if you're looking at your Facebook data and your audience is hyper users, great. If it's 60-year-old men who are like some of the lowest people in terms of their Facebook activity, you're not going to get good activity. So here's how you calculate what's good on social media. You calculate something called a post reach rate. You can do this with any type of social media that you can get data from. So I don't know how you get data from TikTok. A lot of those newer social medias like that, we say TikTok is new. It's actually only a couple years old. That's really new compared to Facebook, which has been around for forever now and has really robust marketing and analytics tools built into it. So you have to be able to get the performance data from your social media posts. So you have to calculate the post reach rate. This is like, going to be it's essentially a metric that is not, it's an objective metric. So it's not related to the quantity of followers you have, right? Because it's a ratio. So you can compare it to our data or any other agent's data. So to calculate that, you just, you look at your post reach. How many people saw that post divided by the total number of page followers you have. So maybe 100 people saw my last social media post on the JP Woman page, and we have 500 followers on there. So it's a 20% reach rate. That would be an example of how to calculate it. Simple. On average, our agents, their post reach rate is between 10 and 20%. Doesn't sound great, but you have to realize that that's probably the reality of your social media. Only 1 or 2 out of every 10 people following your page is seeing your average post. We have agents that spike way up 30, 40, 50% all the time, but they are the people that are awesome at social media. They've really engaged audiences, they have big audiences, and they're constantly posting really high quality content on there. But the average agent, 10, 20% reach rate. So you can go on your Facebook, we have a video called "This Secret Stat on Facebook is the Key to Success." Go look that video up and they'll talk to you about how to find this data and calculate your reach rates. All right, now we're going to end with a couple examples of really good, effective sphere marketing. We have this program at JP Woman, many of you are in it, called Reach Pro. Reach is like the marketing technology services we provide to all of our agents. Reach Pro is an advanced level of that, where we help you design and deploy your newsletters. We help you with your social media strategies, and you also get one-on-one monthly strategy consulting with me. So this is an example of one of the emails we designed and sent for the Troxels, Ben and Angie. Ben's our broker. They also run one of the most successful sphere real estate businesses that I've ever seen. I think that probably anybody's ever seen. They have some of the most successful social media and one of the most successful newsletters. Here's an example of the newsletter. Now this is Angie. She told me this earlier today. This is Angie saying, I don't feel like sending a newsletter in June. But she did it anyways, and she sent this newsletter, which was really simple, short, not a lot of fancy content, and it performed phenomenally well, like upper 10% of all of our newsletter performance. So here you go, personal picture of their cute children. A really short little synopsis here with just a couple of updates, There's really nothing. This took her like 5 minutes. A link to an interesting article. 50 people clicked on that link, believe it or not. And then they just, the names and ages of the kids. Amazon giveaway, couple of solds down there. Boom, done. Simple, effective newsletter. See how much of that? You got a couple solds down there. The vast majority of that is entertaining, personal, value added. Phenomenal. Here is Angie Bacher, who also has one of the most successful newsletters according to performance metrics. Angie loves writing her newsletter. Her newsletters are really long and super interesting. So you know, there actually was a whole bunch of information here with pictures about choosing the best plants for your garden, right? So that's all value added. Worst case scenario, it's pretty pictures of flowers you get to scroll through. Giveaway, one just sold, a little market update, looks like a lot, but below that she's got every month a different recipe, right? More value add. So the vast majority of this is value added entertaining with a little bit of salesiness in there. Phenomenal, Angie. Here are a couple examples of social media posts that I pulled from a couple of our agents. They're all in the Reach Pro program also. Nick Zerwas, left-hand side. This is actually from InStock Social. You can see because I'm like page admin, you can see right here that I can see in my screenshot that this was posted by a social media posting service. Nick didn't even do any work to post this. It's through the service. That service said this is a funny picture and it posted it for him. Pretty crazy. This is like 2,200 people. 170 people engaged with it, 7 shares. Beautiful. It's just a funny picture, you know? And Nick's like, you know, he's a comedic guy, so it fits his personality. Something in the middle from Sarah Barr, 377 people saw this with 97 engagements. She did the photo grid, right? People are going to click on those images at the bottom to blow them up so they can see the whole image. She is mixing business with personal life, right? It's actually a cute picture of her daughter, a couple cute pictures of her daughter, but she's blending in her business because she brought her daughter came out to help her do some, you know, put up a for sale sign and a sold sign. Phenomenal job by Sarah. I mean, 42 reactions. That's insane. On the right, our last example, cool house posts. We generate 1, if not 2 cool house posts for our agents every week. Literally, I just go on HomeSnap, which is my preferred site for house searching, and find cool houses for sale. You know, just look at expensive ones. You could watch Zillow Gone Wild to find an infinite amount of cool house stuff to post. And you post at least 4 images. That's key because people are going to click on them to blow them up and filter through them, which gives you more engagement. So this is Connie's post. This is a post we created and she reused. Seen by over 400 people. 129 engagements. Whew, that's insane. That's like a lot of people clicking on images, right? And this is just a goofy house that had these like weird paintings on the walls all over the place. But phenomenal job, simple post, crazy results, value added, right? It's entertainment, just pure entertainment. This is the kind of social media content, those are the kind of newsletters that people are gonna stay, they're gonna follow you, they're gonna stay followed, they're not gonna unfollow you, they're not gonna mute you, they're gonna stay subscribed to your newsletters if they're like this, if they're value added. They're gonna, because you gotta keep on the hook for 9 years. That's my point, right? You got 9 years of time when you need to stay in touch with everyone in your sphere. Remind them that you're a real estate agent while entertaining them. And that's how you can convert clients, you know, convert people from your sphere into clients before they start shopping. Because it's really hard once they start shopping to go head to head with the marketing budgets of Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com. So you convert them in the 9 years when they're not shopping by being value added. Thank you for your time. I hope you found some of that interesting or insightful. And I'd love to open it up for any questions that you have now. Can you guys hear the sound of the rain coming through my microphone? Probably not. While you're thinking of questions, if you don't have any, that's fine. Check out the level of production value of this place. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at how that background just changes colors. Connor's down. Are you down the hall, Connor? We're getting the same rain sounds organically. All right.